Ben McKee, Patrick Brown, GoVols247 here at Tennessee Media Day. Fall camp begins tomorrow, so a slew of people, coaches, players, spoke to the media today. And I'll start with this. Josh Heupel sure did seem confident for a coach going into his third fall camp at Tennessee.
Yeah, and he should have been. This is probably the best roster he's had at Tennessee in terms of numbers, and he's brought up the 65 figure from his first season several times over this offseason, and now they're obviously not at 85 because of the NCAA ruling, but they're pretty close. And when you have a more complete roster, when you have a top 10 recruiting class on campus, as Tennessee does, you're going to have a lot more depth and a lot more competition really across your roster, and you're going to have reason to feel better about the direction of your program and what this team could do this season.
Absolutely, and he didn't really say anything noteworthy. He passed along that Quasi Pack Garland. He is not going to play this season due to injury. An injury he suffered last year, and didn't seem like he was recovering all that well from that injury, and not for a lack of effort. Josh Heupel made sure to communicate that. So nothing really noteworthy outside of that, but it was really cool to hear coaches talk about guys developing over the offseason. And I thought the coolest storyline in that realm was the relationship between Joe Milton and Nico Iamaleava.
Yeah, and really one of the biggest things I thought was Joey Halzle, Tennessee's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, was asked what would the confidence level be if they had to throw Nico in a game if they were playing tomorrow. And he said it would be really high, that this guy's really mature. He's worked really hard, really ever since he's been here. Of course, we've said before, he was, during Orange Bowl practices, they asked him to go on the scout team, and he did, and he talked a little bit about that today. Nico did, about how he wanted to give the defense a good look, but he also wanted to do the best he could, and sometimes that involved maybe showing them up a little bit. So that's obviously something that jumped out. A lot of talk about Ramel Keaton today. He's not a guy that we talked to, but a guy that got a lot of attention from coaches and players as well. Brew McCoy is another guy that I thought, Joey Halzle said was as good a shape as he's been, but a lot of eyes are going to be on the quarterbacks of this team because Joe Milton can throw the ball a mile, and he's got a great story. And obviously Nico is the 5-star, the freshman. Everybody wants to see what he does and if he gets a chance. But if Joe plays well, he might not get a chance. So they've got a great relationship, play a lot of video games. Nico said he's done hundreds of visits to Joe's house. Joe's living alone now. He's not living with Hendon Hooker anymore. Obviously, Hendon's in the NFL. So that's a good storyline, and it's not very deep diving analysis to say the team will go as far as the quarterbacks do, but this is a really exciting quarterback room that Tennessee has.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, Tim Banks seemed really excited about his competition and the depth that he may have on that side of the ball.
Yeah, and there was a lot of talk too about the leadership at linebacker with Aaron Beasley and Keenan Peely. Peely's 25 and is married, so that's going to be new for a lot of guys on this team, especially some of the freshmen. But Beasley is a guy that we've seen him grow over the course of his career. And but to your point, but on the competition, I look at two positions: the edge rusher spot is going to be young, but they got some talent there, and then the cornerbacks is, as Banks talked about too, that's a position there's a lot of guys and a lot of guys that play a lot of football. There's some young talent there, and coaches are always eager to see what those guys look like when they get on the field and start competing. And one of the big things that the coaches said is that you got to go earn it. That's what this program has been about. It's what it's continued to be about, and all that gets started tomorrow when they hit the field.
Absolutely. It'll be a fun month of August. We will have plenty of coverage up at GoVols247 throughout the month. We'll have plenty of coverage up today from Media Day. Podcasts, transcripts, stories, quotes, videos, everything you need will be up at GoVols247.com. He's Patrick Brown. I'm Ben McKee.